Charles Barkley joining us now from Alabama. What are you doing in Alabama? Are you visiting the home folks?
Yeah, I'm visiting my family, man. Came to check out my mom. Hey, man, great job over in London. I enjoyed the Olympics. Cool. Y'all did a great job.
Had fun. It was great. Great experience there. Got to see the Dream Team a couple of times. And
London's cool, isn't it?
What?
London's very cool, isn't it?
Yeah. It was great.
Yeah, I went over there a couple of weeks before the Olympics. I didn't want to go to the Olympics because it was going to be too many people. But I went over there a couple of weeks before the Olympics and had a blast.
Should I refer to this Olympic team as the Dream Team?
Hey, man, isn't that a silly question? Listen, if they want to call them a dream team, whatever, they had a very good team. They made us very proud.
I call them the Daydream Team.
You know, Dan, they got a good team, but I wish people would stop comparing teams. You know, because, listen, they got a good team, but they were just too small. You know, David Robinson, they struggled with the Gasol brothers. You know, come on, and I don't compare. I love both Gasol brothers, but they're not David Robinson and Patrick Ewing. Give me a break.
How many points would you beat them by?
Probably 15, 17, somewhere in there. Because, listen, the only guy that we're going to have a trouble with is LeBron, and everybody's going to have trouble with LeBron. LeBron's unbelievable, but the rest of those guys, obviously Kobe's terrific. But Michael would handle him. I would love to see Scotty in his prime try to guard LeBron. That would have been that would have been a classic confrontation right there.
I said that to Doug Collins, and Doc Rivers was there as well. And I said, look, I'll give you this team is the best shooting team probably that they've ever assembled. But as far as I got Scotty.
What do you mean?
Outside shooting.
Other than Kevin Durant, who's a great outside shooter?
I thought that Kobe's a very good shooter. They're all good shooters. I thought they had great shooters. I thought it was a great shooting team.
You know what? I think Kobe, he's one of the 10 greatest players ever, but I wouldn't put him as no great shooter.
Okay, all right.
Durant is a great shooter. Kobe's, like I say, he's one of the 10 greatest players ever. But I don't think we'll settle for him shooting jumpers. And same thing with LeBron.
Who would guard you?
Oh, well, it wouldn't matter. I didn't think anybody could guard me.
Wait, you don't think LeBron could guard you?
He would give me some trouble, but he'd give anybody trouble. But I don't think you're going to stop any great player, whether it's Kobe, Durant, or LeBron. I don't think. This ain't baseball where great pitchers stop great and hitting. Ain't nobody. Me and Michael used to get around and laugh. They call, you remember he's always called people the Jordan stopper. Dude, you can't stop a great player.
I saw where Jim Boeheim said that maybe there is a little bit of a discussion of Michael and LeBron as to who's the better player.
Well, listen, I've said before, it's sacrilegious for me to say that. If LeBron can win 4 or 5 championships, this guy is pretty special, man. I said this last year. I've never seen a guy like this guy. Obviously he's got to win 4 or 5 championships to get in that conversation, but we've never had a player with his skill set, 6'8", 6'9", 260, who was that big, that fast. It's an honor and a pleasure to watch him play. I've said that for the last year. People were giving him a hard time because he hadn't won the championship, but he's just never been on the best team. But he's unbelievable, man. And like I said, I'm a little leery. And Kobe's unbelievable. I don't want to leave him out the conversation, but I'm a little leery comparing anybody to Michael Jordan. But if LeBron can win 4 or 5 championships, I think you can put him at the same table with Michael.
Who would you rather guard?
I think I would rather guard LeBron because I think LeBron would shoot more jumpers, and I think Michael was a better shooter overall. I think sometimes, even if you look at that, I watched the gold medal game.
Yeah.
And if you remember when it was like a 5-point game, first of all, that coach from Spain who let Marc Gasol get his 4th foul in the first half should get fired. Because they had the game where they wanted it. For him to let that guy get 4 fouls in the first half, in the second quarter, that was just stupid.
But you know what happened, Charles? From what I'm told, they thought he had 3 fouls.
You know what? He should have. Listen, it doesn't even matter, Dan.
I know, but your assistant coach has to look up on the scoreboard, and it says how many fouls. I think they left him in.
My point is, listen, in the second quarter, if your second-best player on the team got 3 fouls, he shouldn't even be in the game with 3 fouls, Dan. Like the only reason you would put him in the game if the United States was starting to pull away. If it's a close game and it was only a 1-point game, you don't have him in the game with 3 fouls. So whatever that coach said is bogus. I mean, sometimes a coach has to go back to his best player if he's in foul trouble, if the game is getting out of hand. But it was a 1-point game at halftime. Like I say, he shouldn't even let him pick up his 3rd foul.
Was there any team you guys faced in 1992 that I could have played for?
Yeah, the women's Olympic team.
Oh, that's pretty good, though.
I'm just kidding. You see what happened to the mayor the other day of Phoenix, didn't you?
Yeah, no, he got his nose broke.
That was awesome.
Wait, I think I could have played for Senegal, couldn't I? Back in 1992?
No.
Angola?
No,
how about Angola?
You couldn't have played for Angola, Dan.
Oh, damn. I could have.
No, you couldn't have.
It would have been Dangola.
Dan, listen, trust me, I've seen your little game. Don't forget me now. I've seen your
little game.
Hey, let me tell you something. You're one of those players.
Oh, here we go.
No. And first of all, in the NBA, I've seen a bunch of them. Like, you got a pretty jump shot when you're just shooting on your own. Like, there's 100 guys I've seen, like, oh, that guy can really shoot. But he could only shoot if he was just shooting by himself. You know, there is somebody guarding you out there. You're not just out there shooting jumpers.
Yeah, Steve Kerr didn't have anybody guarding him.
Yeah, because his man was cheating off of Michael Jordan.
Yes, so I would be on a team where I'd be wide open.
Well, you know what? Listen, that's you know what, Dan? You might be right there. You better make sure. Listen, Shaquille O'Neal, Hakeem Olajuwon, they made a bunch of guys money. Have you ever seen Dennis Scott dribble a basketball?
I don't think he ever beat anybody off the dribble.
First of all, I love Dennis Scott. He's a really good friend. But listen, every paycheck he should get, he should have gave Shaquille O'Neal a little chunk of it.
Where would we go to eat if I was in your hometown?
Well, it's changed. It was a really small town when I was young. We actually now got a McDonald's and a Taco Bell.
Wow.
They didn't have it when I was a little kid. We only got that in the last few years.
You imagine?
It's a very small town. But like I said, we didn't have a McDonald's and a Taco Bell when I was here. We had a Dairy Queen and a Jack's.
Where's the local hangout, though? If I'm with you and you're going to take me to have some good Southern cooking.
There's nothing. You can't get that in my hometown. You have to go to Birmingham.
How far is Birmingham?
About 20 minutes.
Oh, okay.
But we don't have, like I say, we don't have, like, a local restaurant, dude. I'm in the country.
You imagine? Well, yeah, it's all right. I get that. But let's say Coach Saban drove through town.
Listen, Coach Saban is just coming here to get some of our players. He's not staying here. He just comes to town to recruit. We actually, most of my guys are going to go to Auburn. They don't really have a choice. We've sent about four guys to Auburn. We don't really have a choice.
Okay, let's say you had a son.
Yes.
High school football star.
Yes.
And Nick Saban showed up.
I'm a big Nick Saban fan, and I like him. But he can't I don't even know if I would let him meet with Nick Saban.
You would never let your son go to Alabama?
Never. Never.
He's Charles Barkley.
Not even, no, never.
Charles Barkley joining us. Dwight Howard going to the Lakers. How does this not work out?
Well, there's some very interesting storylines going into the NBA next year. The number one, Steve Nash is 40. You don't know what's going to happen to a guy because the point guard. It used to be the power forward position was the hardest position in the NBA because like every night you were playing against a great player. Now in the NBA, it's the point guard slot, and every night Steve Nash, he's 40 years old, is going to have to play. Russell Westbrook not going anywhere. Rondo, Derrick Rose,
Chris Paul.
I mean, it's going to be a night.
Tony Parker.
Tony Parker. I'm talking about every single night you're going to have to play against a terrific point guard. You don't know how Steve Nash is going to hold up. And also, Dwight Howard's back.
I know.
So that's going to be the two things that people are going to have to watch all these year. I think it's going to work out because I'm a big Dwight Howard fan. But we still got to see how his back is going to respond.
Who's the best team in the West right now, just on paper?
Oh, the Lakers.
Over Oklahoma City.
Yeah, Oklahoma City. You know, I'm not a big Oklahoma City fan because I don't think they get any easy baskets. You know, like last year, I didn't think they could win. That's the reason I picked Miami to win the championship. The only way you're going to beat Miami is beat them up inside. That's what their weakness is. You're not going to beat them on the perimeter shooting jumpers with Westbrook and Durant. And the only way to beat them is the way the Mavericks beat them, with Dirk Nowitzki and Tyson Chandler down low. And unless Oklahoma City gets some low post scoring, they're going to win a lot of games because they got two terrific players, and Harden's terrific also. But you're not going to win the championship just shooting jumpers.
What about Bynum with the 76ers?
You know, I think that's a very interesting situation for several reasons. Number one, what people don't understand, this is going to be the first time Bynum had to be the leader and the best player on a team. It ain't going to be like he's playing with Kobe and LeBron, not the one, and Pau Gasol, and he can just be like the third best player on a team. It changes dramatically when you go to being the man. Yep. And he's going to have to grow up and mature, and it's going to be different for him. I mean, he's going to have to be a leader on that team. And also, you got to wonder how he's going to react when he gets all that money. Now, if he's being immature like he's been the last year, how's he going to be when they give him $100 million?
Would you give him $100 million?
You know, Dan, I'm not sure, to be honest with you, because, number one, he's having another knee surgery. And, you know, I wish he had Doug Collins as a coach when he first started. Because I think Doug is a terrific coach. He's going to make him play. But, man, like I said, I wouldn't have gave Amari Stoudemire all that money because all the knee surgeries he's had. You know, when I was living in Phoenix, they said, would you give him that money? I said, the dude's had 2 microfracture surgeries. I'm not sure that I would give him that money because he's going to start declining. Now, you know, Bynum is having another surgery on his knee. And, man, it's a tough call, Dan. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I like Andrew Bynum. I think he's a very good player. But, man, you know, you've seen these things happen, man. Once these guys start having surgeries, you don't know what's going to happen, especially on these big guys.
Can he handle the media in Philadelphia?
Only if he plays well. No, dude, I mean, if Philadelphia, you know, listen, the media, it's all about playing well, to be honest with you. It's not about the media. It's about how well you play. I tell all these guys, not just Bynum, if you play well, they love you. If you don't play well, they're going to kill you. It's not fair. It ain't right or wrong. That's just how it is. And that's not just Philly. That's in every sports team. If you play well, they're going to write nice things about you. But if you don't, they're going to crush you. That's just how it is.
Did you watch the Hard Knocks with Chad Johnson getting cut?
I did not. You know, Dan, that's a tough one for me. I like Chad Johnson. I never met him, but I like him. But you got to be really careful, man. You can't lay hands on women. You know, that's a very difficult one for me. I hope he gets another opportunity. But that's the one thing, man. I'm very leery. You can't put your hands on women, man. That's scary to me. I always tell people, you can't ever get that mad. You know, you can't ever get that mad where you hit a woman. Like I say, I forgive him because it ain't up to me. Only God can judge other people. But I think that's just something you can't do, man. I'm very sensitive. You know, having a daughter. You know, that's one thing I'm just very sensitive about. I hope he gets another chance, but I don't think you ever let yourself get that mad where you hit a woman.
Have fun there in your hometown. We always appreciate you joining us.
Are you kidding me, dude? I'm in freaking Alabama.
What do you do for fun in Leeds, Alabama?
That's my point. I come to see my mama. I'm not here to have fun.
Could you get in trouble in Leeds, Alabama?
Hell no. Hell no. You can't get in trouble here, Dan.
Even you?
Even me, Dan. That's sad.
Wow. No, that's a good thing. Hey, good to visit with you again.
All right, man. Hey, tell the nerds I said hello.
I will. Thank you.
All right, man. God bless. Be safe.
All right, Charles Barkley. Nerds, Charles says hello.